Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 103rd episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, 6 passive income ideas for dietitians. You guys, I am so excited for this episode. It's a little bit longer than usual, but I think you'll really enjoy it. This is a conversation with me and my friend Krista from Dietitian Success Center. You may remember Krista from the 37th episode of the podcast on creating a membership website. Now, she has done so many amazing things with creating this platform for dietitians known as Dietitian Success Center. It's a membership, but it is a one-stop shop for education, tools, everything that you need to build your expertise, enhance your practice. It provides everything from, evidence-based client handouts to courses to a supportive community. And for those who are entrepreneurs, she even has like a special option for entrepreneurs only. So if you're not familiar with Dietitian Success Center, be sure to check her out. And Krista also has an amazing podcast. It's called the Dietitian Success Podcast. And if you love this podcast, I know you'll love hers as well. So this episode is airing on her podcast and my podcast. We're going to dive into talking about something that we both love so much, and that is passive income. And it's really fun because we both approach this from a slightly different direction. Krista and I both have practices where we don't work with patients one-on-one. We are both business coaches, but I really lean into the passive income through blogging, and she really leans into the passive income through memberships, plus all of the little ways in between that we'll be chatting about. So I'm so excited for you to enjoy this conversation. So let's dive in.
Hey, Katie.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing so good. How are you?
I'm doing so good too. I'm excited to just have this chat with you.
Yes, me too. I know we were just having quite a conversation and catching up because it's been so long since we chatted. And
I know.
My goodness, I could have probably talked to you for a whole hour, but I'm glad we got to the podcast episode.
I'm glad we finally pressed record. I know we covered the gamut. We were talking about sales. We were talking about websites. We were talking about all the things, and it was great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so now let's shift to I think both of our favorite topics probably to talk about, which is passive income.
Yes, passive income is one of my favorite things. I share a monthly passive income report through my brand Dietitian Side Hustle.
I love those income reports, Katie. I got to tell you, I love those. That was how I think I first found you, actually. It's probably from one of your income reports on, because you share them on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook now.
Okay, that's what I thought. And so I think I clicked on one. I was like, oh, this is just so fascinating. I love I love that.
Yeah. Every time I share it, there's like this little image in Instagram that says, I love passive income. And I use that a lot of times in my stories because I do love passive income. It is the best.
Yes. Okay, let's start. I want to hear your definition of passive income.
Sure. So I like to paint the picture of passive income as money that you make in your sleep. I wake up in the morning, I check my phone. I'm like, hey, I've made money and I didn't do anything. But then after I say that, I like to back up and explain that passive income is not free money. It is not, air quotes, easy money. It is where you create something that you can sell on autopilot. You create something once, something that you could sell again and again. Then you create systems to bring people into your world to buy it. And that is when the passive income happens. So you do have to have a product to sell on autopilot, and you have to have an audience to sell to. So it's kind of this combination of having a passive income product to sell and an audience to sell to. It often takes time to actually build up enough traffic for people to be buying your products passively. But it's one of those things kind of like blogging. And I know we'll be talking about that later, but it's one of those things where in the beginning, you might not make a lot of money, but if you do it right and you set up your systems on the back end, that's when you hit the point of waking up and you're making money time and time again. So it's one of those things that's a long-term game. I also like to paint the picture of active income versus passive income. Active income is what most of us were taught in school. That's what most of us do. It's where we trade time for money. That is an hour pay for an hour work. So if you work 40 hours a week, you get paid for 40 hours a week. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Same thing if you're a dietitian who does like maybe a contract gig. You do the work for the contract, you get paid, one and done. You're not going to make any more money if you're not continuing to work. Where passive income is a little different. This is where you are not exclusively trading time for money, and you continue to make money day after day, week after week, month after month, without having to continue to do the work, depending on how you set up your systems. So that's kind of my roundabout way about how I talk about passive income, really prefacing it sounds so amazing, like money you make in your sleep, but it's not easy money. It does take time, it does take work, and it doesn't happen without a lot of intention and work on the back end.
Totally. And I completely agree. And the only other things that I add to that, because I agree with everything that you said, and I say the exact same things, is the only other things I would add is just that I feel like with passive income, it's almost like a shift in your attention, right? At the beginning, your attention is dedicated to the building of the thing, whatever that be, whether it's a blog, whether it's a course, whether it's a membership site. And then suddenly your attention gets to shift to the sales and marketing side of things. And so it's very much still an active process in terms of selling and in terms of marketing, but there's not that direct you getting paid for your time. There's just so much more room and so much more opportunity and so much more scalability within that. And I think that this becomes so clear to people when they actually start working in a more transactional way. We start maybe seeing clients one-on-one, or we're doing consulting work. I know for me, when I first started my business and I was doing freelancing, and it became so clear to me that we think we understand, but we don't really understand until we're in it. And I'm like, oh, I actually do not have more hours during the week, or I feel like I'm tied to my desk for 8 hours. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to make more money doing this, because I feel like there's going to be a limit to what I can charge for this. And so it's like, how do I make it to the next level, and how do I reach those financial goals? And that's really where the more passive scalable income comes into play.
Yes. And I love thinking of passive income in conjunction with developing multiple streams of income. So if you have active streams of income, which is great, most people do, I still have some active forms of income, having multiple streams of passive income and active income over time is really beneficial for a business, because if you maybe want to back off of your active income, it's okay, because you're still making money through multiple streams of passive income.
Yeah, totally. I like to think of it. I said this in a podcast once, and I feel like it resonated with people. I borrowed this idea from, I think it's Food Blogger Pro, the podcast. And the host, his name is Bjork Ostrom. And I remember when I was first learning about this topic, and he was talking about how multiple streams of income, you can think of it like an egg carton, and each egg in that egg carton represents one of your streams of income. And if one of those streams goes away, whether that's because for whatever reason it dries up, or maybe you decide you don't want to do it anymore, maybe you decide you don't like it anymore, that's okay, because you still have all of the other eggs that are all contributing to your overall income or your overall revenue as a business. Obviously not saying that you're going to have 12 different streams of income, but it's just the general idea of it, right? There's multiple ways that we're making money. And so it all contributes to the entirety of your business.
Yes. And it creates a little bit more, I think, safety and security of like, talking of eggs, not having all of your eggs in one basket to where, oh, shoot, something happened with this income stream, whether or not I've lost a contract gig, or, all kinds of things can happen, right, that are beyond our control. So if you have those multiple streams of income, if something happens in one area, it's okay. You don't have to be like, oh, my whole business is
totally
gone.
Oh my God, for sure. There's nothing more stressful.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if something happens to you personally, right? Like you are sick, or you have a life change, and you're like, I just can't imagine working with people one-on-one anymore. It's like, okay, then what does that look like? And how do we plan for that? So
yes,
I love it.
100%. And I think that's the one thing that we can count on is just unpredictability in life.
Yeah,
life always has ups and downs, and we never know, are we going to get sick? Is someone we love going to get sick? What's going to happen? And stuff that happens in life, does funnel down and affect business. So there's a lot,
Yeah.
like I said, a lot of security and passive income, I think, multiple streams
Totally.
of passive
Totally.
income.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. All right, let's get to our list, shall we? We have
Yes.
6 ideas for passive income that dietitians can use to make an extra $1,000 a month if they choose to. I loved your idea around, as we were kind of planning this and as we were talking about it, we were like, let's talk through what these different things look like for each of us in our businesses, just to give people some inspiration, some ideas. And then let's also talk about what it actually means to make an extra $1,000 a month in these areas. Like, what does that actually look like, breaking it down from like a pricing perspective? So I love that. Why don't we start with online courses?
Sure. I love a good online course. So
tell us about online courses in your business. I want to hear from you first.
Yes, absolutely. So an online course is essentially where you either record your screen, record video view. I'm a big fan of the hybrid, having both. People like seeing our faces. It really develops that know, like, trust factor, but you don't have to have it. I just recommend it. But you're recording your screen or you are teaching. These are videos that are pre-recorded. You put it in a really nice package. You can sell your online course with lots of different programs. I know, Krista, you use Kajabi. For a lot of my courses, I use Thinkific. Teachable is another popular one. But I will say the very first course I ever did was literally just links to videos on YouTube. So it can be simple or it can be complicated.
Yeah.
But essentially it is where you create a course, you're teaching someone, it's in this kind of like pre-recorded online package that people watch on demand. So I have a couple of courses because my brand is kind of split. I have my blog, The Geriatric Dietitian, where I really focus on caregivers of sick, frail, older adults. And then I have my brand Dietitian Side Hustle, where I really focus on helping dietitians start their side hustle, particularly blogging. That is my biggest jam. So with The Geriatric Dietitian, I have one course, and it is completely evergreen, meaning I don't do launches. I don't offer calls or any of my time. It is like completely independent study. And it's a course called Gaining Weight Made Easy. So a lot of the content on my website is related to stopping unintended weight loss in older adults, preventing malnutrition. And my content is like bringing in lots of traffic through my blog, and I'm directing people to this course. The course itself is videos of me teaching, but it also has handouts, ebooks, lots of resources that are going to help someone who needs help on how to gain weight and stop unintended weight loss. So that is a course that I sell. I sell it for $97. I always think I could probably increase the rate of that, but for right now, that's great for the geriatric dietitian because it's very hands-off. Where through Dietitian Side Hustle, I do have some freebies. I have a free mini course called the Dietitian Online mini course, and it's really meant to teach dietitians about all the cool things they could do as a dietitian online, but then also serve as a lead magnet for people who would be a good fit for my program. So I have a free course there. And then I have a couple of courses. One is called Beyond the 9 to 5 Coaching Course. And I created this because I'm a big fan of working with business coaches. Big fan of working with business coaches, but I know not every dietitian is at that spot where they're ready to really invest their time, their energy, and money, especially if they don't know what they want to do. So I created this course that's a lower ticket offer where they could actually go through a course that's all on demand. And it's essentially like having a coach. So I'm coaching them through getting started, creating a plan for their first year of business. So that is a course that I sell that is like just the course, doesn't take any of my time. But then I have a hybrid online course called Blogging Accelerator Program. It's a program. It starts with an 8-week course to teach people how to do blogging. I know, Krista, you're in the program, so you've taken it yourself. Yep. But it starts off with a course that's independent study, but then it also includes live monthly calls and ongoing support and all kinds of systems in it. So I know that's a lot of me talking, but just sharing a lot of different ways on how a course could work, whether or not it is just something people buy and do on their own time, or it has the hybrid of having like those live calls in it. So those are the online courses that I have, and they are mostly passive, except Blogging Accelerator Program does take a little bit of my time, but not much. And I super love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really appreciate that you shared all of, because what I love about this is that we're talking about using courses in so many different ways And I think that's really important. And that's always what I suggest to people who are thinking about making online courses anyways, is like, we think about the ways that we can use this course and get the most out of this course in our business. And so I always like to say, like, you can absolutely have a course that you sell as a standalone product for sure, as like a passive standalone product. But we should also think about how can we use that course in some of the other programs that we already have running, like whether it's a one-on-one program that we have, or whether it is a group program that we have, or whether we have a membership site and we can use and sell online courses through a membership site. There's just so many different ways that we can, like, I would say out of this list, well, I have some other favorites, but online courses is like my number one, because I just think that there's such amazing ways to take what you know and package it into something that is automated to help to save you time, to help reduce burnout, and to help you help more people too. So I totally, and so in my business, the ways that I use online courses and sell online courses. So I would say there's kind of three main ways. So I have, of course, Dietitian Success Center, which is a membership-based site. And essentially how it works is people pay a monthly or an annual subscription and they get access to all of our online course content. And so that's one way you can do it for sure. I also do my one-on-one business coaching as well. And when people sign up for one-on-one with me, they get access to all of my DSC materials. And then I also have one standalone course called Online Course Blueprint. And Online Course Blueprint basically teaches the start to finish process for creating, marketing, selling, and launching an online course. And so I have sort of three different avenues in my business, and they all deal with online courses in some way. So I just love online courses. They're my favorite.
Yes. And I loved how you shared how it could be something that you can complement with one-to-one. A while back, I was doing one-on-one business coaching. I only do group now, but once upon a time I was doing one-to-one. And the very first thing I would actually have people do was do my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course, because I realized it's going to save us time. It's going to save money, because these are the basics that I teach over and over and over again. And if they do it on their own, and we actually start working together, we're going to like hit the ground running. And thinking of people who do one-to-one nutrition coaching or MNT, if they have a course that really teaches foundations, well, it could be seen as like an added bonus of like, hey, you don't only work with me, but you get this course for free or included, or whatever language. And so they take that course, they're going to have all the bones and all the basics, and they'll get the most out of the time that they're working with you. So it's really a win-win. So you're not repeating the same stuff over and over again, and you can get into the nitty-gritty good stuff right away.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's the key piece. I always tell people, like, think of the stuff that you're teaching over and over and over again. There's no reason why that can't be automated. There's no reason why it can't be automated. And so it's just a smart business move. So let's break it down in terms of how to make $1,000 a month through an online course. So I pulled in a little stat here because Padaya, which is an online course platform, did this like really mega study on online courses and what average people charge for online courses. So the average course price is $137 that people charge on Padaya. Now there's obviously a huge range, and I think 137, like you said, with your $97 course, you're like, I could probably charge more for that. Probably $137 course, just depending on what the topic is. But what that means is if you're wanting to make an extra $1,000 a month, that means that, let's say if you were to just sell it as a standalone product, that would mean selling 7 per month. But if you wanted to sell it as a standalone and then also incorporate it into your one-on-ones, which maybe you already have a stream of one-on-one clients, then suddenly that's only 3 standalone courses and incorporating it into 4 one-on-one packages. So that's very achievable.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I'm just going to throw in there, because I was thinking about it as you're talking, when people buy my course for Beyond the 9 to 5, there's a lead in there for, okay, now you're done. Do you think you're a good fit for blogging accelerator program?
There
So
you
they
go.
actually
Yep.
can get back the money they invested in that course to go to the next level. So thinking of people who are offering courses, maybe someone's like, I'm not quite ready to work with you. I want to do this course. Great place to start. They're going to get to know, like, and trust you, and potentially lead them into working with you so you can make more money kind of on the back end too.
Yeah, 100%. Love it. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is, and I want to hear from you on this one because this isn't really something I've done much of, but actually selling ebooks.
Yes. So, an ebook was actually the first paid product that I created through my brand, The Geriatric Dietitian, because my audience was asking for it. Because kind of like I shared, a lot of my audience is, it's a lot of caregivers and family members who are like, how do I help mom? How do I help grandma? How do I help my uncle stop losing weight? The caregivers, family members, they want to help. So they're often looking online to solve, these big problems. So I had a lot of people asking me do you have any recipes on high calorie shakes? I was like, well, no, but let me create something. So I ended up creating my first e-cookbook called High Calorie Shakes. I will say it was a lot of fun to make. I made it with my family. I actually made all the recipes in one night.
Oh my God.
It was exhausting.
In one night.
Yeah. But it was so much fun.
So many shakes.
I know. And it's high calorie shakes. So I don't know how much weight I gained that day, but they were delicious.
No kidding, eh? Oh my God, I can imagine. All the cream.
But it was actually really fun. And I've got kids, so I pulled them in on it, right?
I love it. Yeah.
So that was my first paid product. And how I sell that e-cookbook is actually using a platform called eJunkie. eJunkie is like really low cost. I have it connected to my PayPal and it costs $4 a month. And what I like about eJunkie is that I pay the $4 per month. It pretty much has like a sales page where people can go to, they can see, here's my ebook, they can check out, it's, safe, secure with their credit card. And then eJunkie will send them the email with the link to download their ebook, which is a PDF that I've created. So I pay $4, but then every sale I make, I get to keep everything. They don't take out a certain percentage of it where, every platform is a little bit different. Yeah. Now I still have to pay credit card fees, but we don't get away. Everyone's got to pay credit card fees. It is a part of doing business, but that's okay. So eJunkie is the platform that I use. And I started selling this e-cookbook called High Calorie Shakes. I sell it for $19.99. And that has been a really incredible source of passive income because I made that book. Golly, it aired or it released when the pandemic first started, when everything started shutting down in the middle of March of 2022 or 2020. So this book is over 2 years old and it still makes money. I sold one this morning. I love checking my phone and I continue to make sales, week after week, month after month. I created this product once. Yeah. After that, I'm like, this is so amazing. I ended up creating a cookbook called High Calorie Recipes. So kind of more categories than just the shake. And then also a book on weight gaining secrets. And I will say, I talked about that course. I started with the ebook and then I made another ebook and another ebook. My course provides all those ebooks plus a video of me just talking about the stuff I already created. So just one thing for people to keep in mind as we're talking about all these passive income sources, you could start with one and it could lead you to the next one and you could start kind of building on what you're creating. So ebooks is what I sell through the Geriatric Dietitian. I've got a little ad on the sidebar of my website. I've got a shop page. I have email marketing that, goes through behind these products. And it's been really lovely to be able to just sit back and, check my emails and sell book after book without having to do any work. So it is great.
That's awesome. And I think what's important too about that, which leads us into our third source of passive income, is just the idea of having the steady and consistent blog traffic that brings people to your ebook, right? Because it's not as simple, because I see this often where, dietitians are like, oh, I just want to create an ebook. But I always say, we can't just slap something on our website and just assume that people are going to magically find it and buy it. It's just not going to happen. It does not work that way. So there needs to be some sort of a stream that brings people to that ebook, which in your world is blogging.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, let's talk a little bit more about blogging as passive income. Because again, this is my jam. This is what I love. And I spoke a little bit earlier, but I'm going to kind of repeat this just to kind of explain the concept of broken down, very simplified. But really how we make money, we need two things. We need something to sell and someone to sell it to. And you kind of hit the nail on the head, Krista, that people are really great about creating products. Like I could just create something and put it on my website. That's not enough. We could have the best product in the world, but if we have no one to sell it to, we're not going to make money.
Exactly.
Or we could have like a massive audience and not be tuned into the business side of things to have something to sell, and then big audience, but still not making money. But I think this is why I love blogging, because it's a wonderful way to combine something to sell and someone to sell it to. So with blogging, I always preface this with, it's a long-term game. Like you said, it's not like you just push publish and everyone's coming to your website. You really do have to learn the strategy of how to build traffic. Search engine optimization is huge. I will say there's more than just search engine optimization. It's also learning business skills, learning to think like a CEO, surrounding yourself with community who's going to help support you on this journey of blogging, because a lot of people start a blog because it is a long-term game. You're doing work without making money in the beginning. It's so easy to give up or feel frustrated. Like this is never going to work. So when I talk about blogging as a business, I talk about going into it not as a hobby, like this is a legitimate business. I know it's going to be long-term and I'm willing to put in the work, do all the things and build the traffic. But once you do, it's a lovely way to make multiple streams of passive income. So I mostly make money on my website through ad revenue. To qualify for what we call a high-end ad network, for me, that is Mediavine, you have to have 50,000 sessions per month. Think of that as like someone coming to your website. So most bloggers, we wait until we have lots of traffic to pay for a high-end ad network. There are low-end ad networks like Google AdSense, but the problem with that is having ads on your website slows it down. Part of SEO, part of building traffic on your website is having a really lightning fast website. So if you're first starting and your website's slow, it's going to take you a lot longer to build the traffic to make the good money. And Google AdSense and these low-end ad networks, they pay pennies. Like literally, you can make in 1 month on Mediavine that it takes you like a year or 2 years to make with Google AdSense. So most bloggers will wait, build their traffic, and then qualify for these high-end ad networks. So most of my blog money is coming from having ads on my website. An ad network is like a middleman. They have access to my website and they take care of the ads. I don't do anything. It's all hands off. So if someone comes to my website, they put eyeballs on my ads. They don't even have to click on it. I make money. And it's a really, I love Mediavine. I'm obsessed with them. So ads is the primary source of income, but there's other streams of income like those ebooks. They're all on my website. So I make money by people coming to my website buying ebooks. I also sell digital goods and handouts. I have affiliate sales, which I know we're going to talk about in a little bit too. And then I also sell my course. So pretty much a lot of these passive income sources we're talking about, they're all combined through my blog. And I do share monthly passive income reports on my Instagram at Dietitian Side Hustle. And I've been making over $4,000 in passive income every month since October. I was making a good amount before then, but it's been consistently over the $4,000 mark for the past 10 months now. And when it comes to blogging, as long as I continue to maintain the blog and all those things, that's money I'm going to continue to make month after month. And with my strategy, the goal is to increase the traffic. So I'll continue to make even more. So that's how I make money blogging. And it's a wonderful, wonderful vehicle for passive income.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And it's funny because we use blogging, and I would say it's like, I feel like it's using blogging, but actually in a bit of a different way, because I use Kajabi, and obviously my target audience is dietitians specifically, right? So it's a smaller audience than obviously who you would be targeting with the geriatric dietitian. And so our main goal with blogging is purely to funnel people to the membership, right? It's to reach more dietitians so that we can find more people. And it's almost like SEO acts as those like fingers that are just like pulling all the people in. And so what we do is we focus on dietitian specific keywords to make sure that when a dietitian punches something into Google, DSC is going to rank at the top, and then they click on DSC. Yes, of course, they read the article and it's valuable for them. But then all of a sudden the question is like, okay, then, what is DSC? What is this cool site? And then, they click on the membership tab, and that's our whole goal there. And what's been really interesting to see is that, and I don't know, Katie, and maybe you know this, like I hadn't really thought about like ads on the DSC blog because we're using Kajabi. Like, I don't even know because I know obviously WordPress is more so what you use if you're wanting to have ads on your blog, but I don't know, maybe that's something to think about for the future. But do you know if it's like you can have Mediavine and Kajabi together, or?
I don't believe so. But what a lot of people do is they will transfer their blog to WordPress.
Okay.
I will recommend, if you got lots of traffic, pay someone who knows what they're doing, so you don't lose the traffic.
Totally.
And then, if you can have your main website through Kajabi, but then have the blog piece on WordPress. So there are options, but cool. if the approach is blogging as a business with making the passive income, I do recommend WordPress.
Yeah.
But like you said, blogging is a wonderful way to build massive traffic and to rank on the first page of Google. And when people have problems and you have solutions, you want to make sure they can find you.
That's exactly it, right? And I think what was really interesting is this last launch that I did for DSC, I was looking at the numbers and just where people were finding me. And I was finding that it was almost an equal split at this point between Instagram, podcast, word of mouth, and Google. And so it's really cool to start to see that actually start working. And like you said, blogging is a long game tactic for sure, but it's been something that we've been working on very consistently over the past year and a half, and just sort of planting those seeds. And I just feel like the longer that we wait, the more it's going to start to come to fruition, and the more it's going to start to pay back in dividends. So there's kind of two different strategies to be able to use blogging, which I think is really interesting, both contributing to income, but in sort of two different ways.
Yes. And if you want to combine all of the above, even more streams of income.
Totally.
I love sharing numbers about blogging, because I think it is so interesting to people about like, well, wait a minute, how much can you make? And I recently pulled these numbers. So I just pulled them up because I wanted to share, because my website, The Geriatric Dietitian, is 3 years old now, which holy cow. And it's one of those things where in the beginning, I would say I was working between 5 to 7 hours a week or less, like that's the max. And then I shifted to where it was around 5 to 7 hours per month. I've now hired someone where I'm virtually hands-off in the blog. Sometimes just for kicks, I like to write a good article, but I'm pretty hands-off in the management of the website at this point. So to go from a point where you're working and not making money to transition to where you are not working and you're making a lot of money. So I broke this down on how much money through passive income my website has made, looking at year 1, year 2, year 3. So year 1, my website made $633. Which I will say, I thought was pretty darn cool for passive, right?
Totally. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Year 2, it made $17,000, which holy cow, a lot of this is because I qualified for ad revenue through Mediavine. But then year 3, I made $50,000. And this was kind of looking at that picture of it's a long-term game. But when it comes to the passive income, if you're willing to put in the time and the work, it's really amazing how it can come together from, 800, 17,000, 50,000. I'm just like, man, what's it going to look like in year 4? So that's so just an example with the numbers.
That's cool. And I like to always think of SEO as like the gift that keeps on giving, right? It's like something that just will continue. You plant those seeds at the beginning, and then it's just going to continue to deliver.
It's amazing.
That's awesome. Cool. Okay, let's move on to number 4, which is membership sites. I can start off with this one since this is really my bread and butter. I am obsessed with membership sites. So essentially what a membership site is, and I kind of alluded to this at the beginning, but for those of you that are not familiar, so essentially what happens is people pay either a monthly or an annual subscription. Typically, sometimes people set up their businesses or their membership sites in a different way where people will pay quarterly or every 6 months or what have you. But mine is set up so that it's either monthly or it's annually. And so long as you are paying the subscription every month or every year, you get access to all of the content that we have available. So for DSC, we have the two different tiers. We have the basic tier, which is really more for your clinical dietitian or your dietitian that's working one-on-one with clients. And then we have the basic plus business tier, which is more for your entrepreneurial dietitian who's either a current entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur. And so they get access to all of the course content that we have under both of those umbrellas. And the reason why I love a membership, and again, a membership takes a long time to build and it takes a lot of time to sell, and it's constant marketing. Absolutely. Because every single month you're trying to recruit new members and you're trying to build it. And truly a membership grows one member at a time. It's a sort of a slow and steady build. But the best part about a membership is that you start to build in that monthly recurring revenue, which brings a lot more predictability and sort of steadiness to your business. And that's what I love about a membership site, because before, when I was relying more on the launch model, which means that we're selling online courses, or I was selling one-on-one coaching, and it was more of that launch model where I only enroll people at different times of the year, it feels very unpredictable. It feels very high and low. There's big swings, and there's some months where you're making very little, but then there's some months where you're making a lot. And to me, as a business owner, that was just really hard to stomach, and it was hard to manage emotionally. And so I feel like having that monthly recurring revenue just brings about that predictability in your business, which I love. And that's one of my absolute favorite parts about a membership site. Now, I don't necessarily think a membership site is for everyone, and I don't necessarily recommend it for everyone. So I always say to people, because I do hear people wanting to start memberships often because they love the idea of monthly recurring revenue, right? Yeah. But sometimes it's not the best strategy, because if you have a defined start and finish to your program or to your material or to your curriculum, it often makes so much more sense to sell it as an online course. Because if somebody doesn't need your content anymore, they're not paying for your content anymore, right? And so the thing about membership sites is they do tend to be lower in cost, right? Because the idea being, lower in terms of the price, because the idea being that people stick around for longer. And so, for example, the average membership prices from a report that was recently published from this group that talks a lot about membership stuff, it's $24 to $49 per month. So it's definitely a lower cost item. But the idea being, again, that you get more members and that people stick around for longer. But again, if somebody doesn't need your content anymore, they're not paying for your content anymore. So if there's a defined start and finish, it makes so much more sense to sell it as an online course. But if your product is something that's a little bit more on demand, so like Dietitian Success Center resources, where somebody's thinking, oh, I'm going to have clients coming up that have PCOS or that have diabetes or that have whatever, and I know I'm going to need these resources. I know I'm going to need these tools. It's very much an on-demand resource. And so people are using it consistently. And there's really no start and there's really no finish in terms of when they're going to use the material. So I think it works well as a membership site. And, I've seen dietitians do things like offering, meal planning memberships, which again, I think work really well because it's something that people are going to use continuously and they're going to rely on continuously. So those are some of the pros and cons of a membership site. I love it. I think it works really well for my business, but it's really just thinking about, is your product better for an online course or a membership site?
Yeah. And I love how, Krista, you and we have different things that we're really into. Your memberships, I'm blogging, but it gives both of us that continual stream of income that alleviates some of that stress of like, where's the money coming from this month? So
100%.
It's just this wonderful example of there are so many different things that we can do as dietitians. A lot of it depends on your business model, just who you are as a person, what sparks joy for you or sounds stressful. There's so many things you could do, especially with passive income.
Totally. And bringing it back to the numbers as we were kind of chatting about before. So if we're thinking about making $1,000 a month, and if we're charging $25 a month for our membership, that means we have to have 40 members at $25 a month, which again, that's very attainable. When you think about how many people, need meal planning support, I mean, come on, that's very few people. Or if you're charging $49 a month, that's only 21 people that you need to potentially be bringing in consistently $1,000 in that monthly recurring revenue, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about products and selling products. I think this can go both sort of in digital products, which we've kind of talked about a little bit, but there's other ways of thinking about this, digital products or even physical products as well. So I know for me, I mean, this is sort of where one of my side hustles, actually, I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast, maybe in the old episodes, but one of my first businesses was called Bark and Buckle. And it was actually an Etsy shop where I sold handmade dog collars. So I love the physical product world, but the physical product world is a challenging one to make solid income in. So I love the digital product world, which is more where we are selling digital products like guides, like journals, like recipe books, like ebooks, as we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And I know you are in this world of sort of Kindle direct publishing. You're exploring that. Tell me about that.
Yes. So I'm actually taking a course right now through the Dietitian editor called Click to Publish.
Cool.
And it's designed to help you create and self-publish books on Amazon. So selling books through KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. So what that means is you create a e-product. It's sold on Amazon. And then when someone orders it, Amazon will print it and drop ship it. So it's not cool. Like you have to keep a stock of books on hand. And I will tell you, as I'm going through this course, I'm currently in week 4. I'm working on a product. I'll tell you about it, but I'm working on my product. So I'm not done with it, but I think I've just been so fascinated to learn about this whole world of Amazon. Like Amazon's a big deal. So many people are on Amazon. And if you're not on Amazon, you probably have someone's account you're using, right? Like maybe, I need something. I'm going to borrow my brother's account. Totally. And I never thought of how we can create low ticket offers as lead magnets and sell them through Amazon, because people are searching on Amazon just like they're searching on Google, just like they're searching on YouTube. And so it's like opened this whole new world for me of like, man, marketing through Amazon. And, yes, I'm selling a low cost product, but it can lead to my higher price offers. So anyways, I'm very obsessed, still learning a lot. It's been a really fun journey, but I'm currently working on my first product, which in the course, Liz, who runs the Dietitian editor, she talks about creating low content books. So that could look like a journal, a meal planner, a workbook or a guide, or in my case, I'm making a coloring book. So meaning something that doesn't take a ton of work. It's not like you wrote this massive manuscript, right? So you can start off with low content products. Again, a wonderful way to bring in your audience and kind of lead to other products. But I'm working on making an inspirational coloring book, an activity book for dietitians. Cool. I'm so excited for it.
I love it.
I mean, I got so obsessed. I was telling Liz, I'm like, this is taking me away from the work I probably need to be doing in my business, because I'm spending all this time on Canva, making activity like word searches, crossword puzzles, like specific for dietitians. And it's been so much fun. But once I create this product, it will be for sale on Amazon. I'll market it myself. But people who maybe are not in my world, maybe they don't listen to my podcast, they're not on social media. What if they're looking on Amazon for a gift on Dietitian Day or something like that? They could find my product, and a whole new world of people could be introduced to my brand. And plus, it's just going to be so fun. So in a few weeks, I'll have a inspirational coloring activity book available. But for me, this is kind of a new world, but it's a passive product. Creating it once, going to set it up on Amazon, we'll see how it goes, but I'm very
Yeah.
excited about it.
Cool. And I guess the idea, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the idea being this is not necessarily a big revenue generator. The idea
Yes.
more so being, again, it brings people into your world and it helps them just get to know you. And then the idea being that hopefully they transfer on to another product that you sell.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Maybe they find the book and they're like, oh, I want to listen to this dietitian side hustle podcast. They start
Yeah.
listening to the podcast and like, oh wait, I want to blog as a business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a fun product that I will make a little bit of income on. It's another
Mm-hmm.
stream of passive income, but really it's not even about the amount of money making through the book, because that's kind of small potatoes in the scheme of business.
Yep.
But it's how it can be a lead magnet or the next step for someone to join a higher paid product. And, I know we both focus on, dietitians as our market, but for other
Yep.
people, maybe you're a dietitian who focuses like on patients with diabetes, and you can create some resources, doing your research as far as like what's out there, and, creating, heck, you can make a color book for people with diabetes. I don't know, but you can make some resources
Yeah.
that would be valuable to them, and, a potential way to bring people into your world. So yeah, it's
Totally.
still new to me, but I'm very fascinated by it.
Yes, me too. And I actually started doing sort of a similar idea. Again, I love the world of like physical products because that was
Yeah.
sort of my old business. And I was like, not quite ready to be done with that. And I really like Etsy. I find Etsy is a really fun platform. And so I earlier this year designed some merch for DSC where we have a DSC Etsy shop and there's sweatshirts and there's bags and there's t-shirts and there's a whole bunch of fun stuff. And so again, it's sort of that thing that I can use as a way for people to be able to find me in a different avenue. And so they find our shop on Etsy. Or what I was also thinking too is like, as people get their merch and they're wearing their sweatshirt around their friends, and then all of a sudden it stimulates a conversation, bringing it back to DSC. And then it's also been a really great tool that I can use for things like giveaways and stuff, right?
Yes.
Like being able to give people in the DSC community a sweatshirt or whatever, whenever we do monthly giveaways. And so that's been really fun too. And I was just pulling up because basically how it works for our merch, and I think this is really interesting. Some people might find this interesting because I think the physical product world is a little bit foreign, right? In terms of just not knowing where to start. And I actually found this awesome company called Printify, where you can sync it with your Etsy shop. And then all you have to do is upload your artwork to Printify. You like place it on whether it's a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or a bag, or they have hundreds of different products. So you do it all through their website. You put your artwork on the bag or the sweatshirt. And then when somebody orders it on Etsy, it goes directly through Printify. They print it, they manufacture it, and they drop ship it for you. So I literally do nothing. Like I don't have to do anything in this process. The only thing I had to do was design the stuff and set up the Etsy shop. And now it just happens in the background. And I was just looking at, because I haven't looked at this in a little while, but my margins for the different things that we sell, and just thinking about, so the sweatshirts that we sell, so the cost for the sweatshirts is around $20 to $30. I sell them for around $53. So my profit for each one is anywhere from $22 to $32, which is okay. I mean, it's not a huge revenue driver, but it's still great. I don't have to do anything.
It's passive. You set it up front.
Totally.
and kind of how we keep having this conversation of these are passive income products. It might be low ticket, but it can be a lead generator for higher ticket offers. So it all works together. More streams of income, especially passive, and ones that could lead people to higher paid offers. It's like win, win, win.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Okay, let's talk about our last one here, which is number 6. And that is affiliate marketing. Do you want to start us off with affiliate marketing?
So I love affiliate marketing because the truth is we can't be everything to everyone, but if we could find a product or a service that would serve our ideal client, our audience, and we're able to connect them with it and make a commission in the process, that is a win-win.
Yep.
So I actually am connected with quite a few different affiliates. I know, looking at my website, The Geriatric Dietitian, the primary affiliate is Amazon affiliates. So what that looks like is if I'm writing an article about protein shakes, I've got a link in there, maybe an image of a recommended protein powder or protein shake. If someone clicks on it, they buy this through Amazon, I make a commission. Two things here. Number one, it's a very, very small commission, but it's still a stream of income.
Yep.
Number two, whenever we do affiliate sales, we have to make sure we disclose. Disclosure is key. We have to make sure that people know if you buy through this affiliate link, I am making a commission. Amazon has its own very specific language, so you will never see an Amazon link on my website without full disclosure. So you know that you're like, I'm making a commission, but it's been a wonderful way to make some passive income. I don't make a ton, maybe $100 per month, but hey, it's passive, right? It's that passive income that's recurring. Now, on the dietitian side hustle side of things, I am an affiliate for multiple things, from courses, memberships, services. An example, because I am a blogger, a keyword research tool, it's called Key Search. I'm an affiliate for them. So if people join through my link, I get a commission. I'm also an affiliate for Canva, which I think a lot of people are familiar with Canva at this point. You know, it's how we make all of our pretty cool things online. I'm an affiliate for, website hosting tools, for website themes, like all of these different things that people are using as they're building their blog businesses. I'm an affiliate for them, recommend my affiliate link, make small commissions. I'm also an affiliate for, like I said, other courses, because my focus is blogging. Like, I don't work with patients, but I do blogging. Now, if you want to work with patients, if like Krista said, you're a clinical dietitian or you have a practice and you want to get connected with somewhere like Dietitian Success Center. Well, I don't do that stuff, but I can connect you with Krista, and I have my affiliate link I can share. So I make a small commission. So it's a way that I'm connecting my client to a product or services that helps them, and it helps my business in the process. I'm an affiliate for other dietitian programs because, like I said, I'm a blogger, but not every dietitian wants to be a blogger. If you want to be a freelancer, if you want to work with clients, if you want to learn SEO ninja skills, if you want to work with the media, if you want to do online programs, I've got lots of other dietitians and other healthcare professionals that I collaborate with to help people find what's the best fit for them. And by being an affiliate, it's passive income and another income stream to my business.
Totally. And I think the key thing that you touched on there is thinking about, like, what are the tools that you're already using, that you are already promoting to people anyways? And do they have an affiliate program? Like, I don't necessarily think that you need to be going out there and looking for every single affiliate program just so you can start to drop those things into your social media or into your blog posts. It's more about thinking strategically and thinking about, you know, what am I already recommending? And is there a way to just optimize this and get a little bit smarter in terms of how I'm making money in my business? So I really like that. And I'm kind of in the same boat in terms of, you know, there's certain platforms that just make sense for my ideal client as they're sort of going through my program. So for example, I'm an affiliate for Kajabi, which is my website platform. And I'm affiliate for some of the other online course platforms as well, because that's something that I teach and I promote them. I'm an affiliate for, so a lot of dietitians starting practices use a platform called Practice Better as their EMR. So they have a great affiliate program. And I'm an affiliate for some of the email marketing platforms as well, like Flowdesk, because again, that's something that I promote regularly in my business. I'm an affiliate actually for a lawyer that I recommend her like legal templates to dietitians because they're specifically for legal for dietitians. So yeah, or blogging accelerator program. Like I said, I mean, I've done your program and so I can speak to it and I love to speak to it. And so that's exactly it. Why not funnel people towards you and then be able to make a commission in the process?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think of even with my blogging accelerator program. So it is a high ticket offer. It is not a cheap program, but when people join, they're building their blog businesses, but they also have the opportunity to be an affiliate. So they now have the opportunity to start making affiliate sales. And for my program at current time, you know, things change, but currently they make a $1,500 commission, which is no small chunk of change. So it's an opportunity of like, okay, well, now that I'm in this program, I am now an affiliate and can have another stream of income to go along with all the other fun things that I do.
Yeah, 100%. And you can start to, like, some of the affiliates that I have for Dietitian Success Center, they make more each month in affiliate commission than they pay for in membership fees. And that's great. I mean, it works great for me because they've brought in additional people that probably wouldn't have otherwise seen DSC or been exposed to DSC. And it's great for them because then they get their membership paid for and they even make more money on the side. So it's awesome.
Yeah. And they're helping people. So it's like this, all these winnings.
Yes. Wins. Agreed. I love it. Okay. That's awesome. Well, that was really fun, Katie.
Yeah. Really fun. I know we talked about all of these different passive income streams, and, you know, I always think of how business is a numbers game. And I know, like with this article or with this episode about how to make an extra $1,000 a month. And, you know, we could look at any one of these topics we spoke about and do the math of, okay, if I want to make $1,000 a month, how much is this product going to cost? And how many do I have to sell a month to make that happen? And over time, this is the thing I like, is I think sometimes it could be easy to look at someone's end game and say like, oh my gosh, you have so many streams of income. I can never do that. But we start with one.
Yeah.
Then we build another.
Totally.
Then we build another. Then you're 3 years out and you're like, holy cow, this is amazing.
Exactly.
So it's starting with one thing and continuing to build on it.
Yes, totally. And it's just about, again, planting those seeds and recognizing and having that long-term mindset about our business and recognizing that exactly when it comes to passive income, we have to have that long game mentality. But it's really worth it. It's really, really, really worth it.
Yes, for sure. Yes. Yeah. And I know a quick little side tangent, because I know we're wrapping up, but, you know, because I'm so obsessed with the passive income, I'm continuing to work on how can I continue to build passive income streams. Yes. So I'm currently even looking outside of just the field of nutrition and dietetics. And I'm currently looking into real estate for passive income, investments for passive income. So I feel like once you get in this world of passive income and you see how amazing it is, it's like, okay, how do I continue to build these passive income streams to make my business more sustainable and to back off and work less?
So true. Because that's the name of the game, right? Yeah. Being able to live more, being able to work less, but being able to live the life that you want and have that financial security and that financial freedom.
Yes. Time freedom and financial freedom. That is what I am here for.
Me too. Totally. Awesome. Oh, well, that was so fun. Katie, where can people find out more about you?
Yeah. So you can find me on, all the platforms. I have a podcast called Dietitian Side Hustle. I'm on Facebook. We have a really wonderful Facebook group called Dietitian Side Hustle. At Dietitian Side Hustle on Instagram, my website, Dietitian Side Hustle. And I do have kind of a link tree page if you want to find out about like all the main ways we could work together. It's katiedodd.com. So
awesome.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. And where can people find you, Krista?
So few places too. So, dietitiansuccesscenter.com or, at Dietitian Success Center on Instagram. And then for my online course blueprint course, it's onlinecourseblueprint.info. But if you go to any of my social medias, you're going to find links for all of that good stuff. And we'll link all of that stuff below these episodes too, since we're posting them on both of our platforms. And while I'm saying that too, this episode is going to be shared on both of our platforms, which is really, really fun. So if you're a listener on one, it's a great opportunity to become a listener on the other as well.
Yes. And I just want to give a shout out. If you're a Dietitian Side Hustle listener, you will love Krista's podcast. It is amazing. Make sure you go like and subscribe and all of the things.
Thanks, Katie. And I say the exact same thing about you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. We'll have a great rest of your day and we'll chat soon.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as Krista and I did recording it. You know, passive income is a topic near and dear to my heart. My hope is after this conversation, you're starting to think, hey, maybe I'm ready to start building out my own passive income streams. Now, you guys know how much I love blogging because blogging is an amazing way to build multiple streams of passive income, but it's a long-term game. I have a program designed to help launch dietitians into the online space so that they can get on that journey, stay on that journey, and reach success with making money through multiple streams of passive income through blogging. If you are ready to start your blog, then I would love to work with you. The ninth cohort of the Blogging Accelerator program is launching on August 29th. I would love to have a conversation to see if this program's the right fit for you. So if you would like to chat with me one-on-one, you can go to blogstrategycall.com and apply for a free 20-minute strategy call with me. Or you can go to my website, bloggingacceleratorprogram.com, to learn more about the program. And my goodness, I sure hope to see you in the ninth cohort of the Blogging Accelerator program. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you loved this episode. I'll see you guys next week.